Hi, this is RJ with RJ Still Running Podcast, and today I'm really excited. Can you tell? So what's in the box? This box here. You can tell it's Asics. It's my new pair of running shoes that I've been wanting to buy for a long time and finally pulled the trigger on. So today's the day. I'm going to take them out for a run, so stay with me to hear how I like them. I won't keep you in suspense any longer. Let's check them out. So what I have here is the brand new pair of Asics Megablast. They're the Asics Megablast. They're in white. I think that's pretty cool. I wear size 9, and the one thing I can tell you about these shoes that just amazed me is they only weigh 7 ounces. Now, to put that in perspective, I have a pair of Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris, and those shoes weigh 6.4 ounces. So these shoes here are only a few ounces more than my carbon fiber 5K race shoes. And look at this. You can't even, they're stiff as a board. I don't know how that's going to work, but we're going to find out. So stay tuned, and I'll give you a little review when I get back from running in these for the very first time. I'm doing 10K today at a easy run, so just to see what they feel like, and I'll let you know. I just put on these new Asics Megablast, and they're size 9. They fit really well. They got a lot of room in the front, maybe more room than I normally have. People have complained that they're too narrow here. I'm going to find out when I go run. Let me come over to this side. When I run, I'm going to find out when I run. They say they're kind of narrow right in here. But so far the upper looks pretty good. The upper looks pretty good. I like the laces. They're a little thin, but they're these serrated laces, so they fit real good. I use a lockdown, so I use the last hole here, and they feel like they got a pretty good lockdown. My heel is nice and tight up against the back. They seem to have plenty of padding right in here, so that's good. I wear these low socks, so they look like they fit. I wear these low socks, so they look like they fit pretty good. These are Features socks. You might have heard of them. But so far, so good. And nice stack height. This is a 45 millimeter stack height, they say, so that's pretty high. But I like the way they feel. They seem to compress down. They seem to compress down pretty good. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what it's like when we run in them. I'm taking my camera, so you'll get to see when I run what they look like. So there we go. I'm about ready to take my Megablast, my new Asics Megablast, out for a run. This is their inaugural run, so we're gonna see how they go. Walking along right now, they feel pretty good. They feel pretty good. I can tell they're not quite like Gel Nimbus. Gel Nimbus are much heavier. These are much, much lighter. First time running in the Megablast. Pretty excited about this run just to see how they do. I can tell you they feel different than, let's say, the Gel Nimbus. The Gel Nimbus are much bigger, much heavier. They have a wider heel on them, and so do I think the Superblast and the Novablast have a wider heel on them than these. These feel squishier. I don't know if that's the right word. They feel like they have more. I'm walking on my heels right now just to feel, and they feel like they have a lot of cushion in them. So it's going to be interesting to run on them and see. People have said they run faster. You can go fast, you can go slow. They're pretty much an all-around shoe, and they last a long time, so we're going to see. Now, I wasn't happy with my Superblast 2s that I bought because they wore out on the heel pretty quickly, I think. I think I had like 200 to 300 kilometers on them, and they wore out. So I'm interested to see how these do when we're running and going down the road here. So we'll see. Okay, getting ready to start this run here. So start the watch. Okay, how do they feel? All right. How do the Novablast feel on the feet? Initial first line. Okay, they're bouncy. They feel pretty good. They're not like the EVO SL, I'll tell you that. But they feel good. I think we're gonna have we'll see how they go. I decided to stop and walk a bit and see what it feels like. So the running was great. First 400 meters was awesome. This 100-meter walk that I'm doing is I feel a bounce in the heel a lot, and even while I'm walking, I can feel the push off from the four-step. So I think these are exactly what people have said they are, and so we'll see when we get farther into the 10K and we start to come back. I'm 3K into my 10K run, and so they feel really good. One thing I've noticed so far is I don't know if I'm just feeling good today or it's just a good run, but my speed is running. I'm running at marathon speed without pretty much any effort. It's hot out here too. It's probably 90 degrees or so. So the run is good. It feels good. I don't know if I'm just feeling good today or if it's the shoes have some effect on it, but they're definitely bouncier. They feel better than the Novablast. To tell you the truth, between the Novablast, I have Novablast 5 and I have Superblast 2. I actually like the Novablast 5 better than the Superblast 2, believe it or not. Even though the Superblast 2 are probably $75 or more than the Novablast 5. These Novablast are $225 list price. Somehow or another, I think I had some kind of Asics deal or something. I got 25 or 30% off, or no, $25 or $30 off the list price. So I think I paid with tax and all that $191, which I thought was pretty good price. So yeah, so far I like them. I think they're a hit, and I think I'm going to agree with a lot of the people that have posted. I got to tell you though, when they first came out a few months ago, and I started looking at them, I'm going, oh my God, here we go, another blast. You know, we got Sonic Blast, we got Mega Blast, we got Superblast, we got Novablast, we got this blast, that blast, we got all the blasts, and all of a sudden here comes Mega Blast, the new one, and I thought, yeah, just another shoe. But I don't know. I watch the reviews, I watch all the YouTube stuff, and it's pretty much on target with me so far. So here's the next thing I found. So I love running in my Adidas EVO SLs. They are really the epitome of tempo, kind of easy running, just about everything that you want from a shoe, and they do a really good job. And I got to tell you, these Nobablasts are feeling a lot like that. They have a different feel, but they're not the same. They have I can't really explain the difference in feel, but they feel different. The EVO SL, I think, are a little snappier, but the Novablast have a little more bounce, I think. I don't know if that explains it properly, but that's what I'm feeling in these shoes. And even when I'm walking right now, they have this bounce to the heel. They have more bounce in the heel, and the thing I like about them is the heel isn't as wide as, let's say, the Gel Nimbus. The Gel Nimbus are great shoes, but they're about, let's see, these are 7 ounces, those are 12. So we're talking 5 ounce difference in weight. So that's a lot. That's a lot when you're running a long distance in a shoe. I mean, 5 ounces, you figure it out. 5 ounces, you're running 180 beats per minute, and you're going over, you know, let's say you run a mile in 9 minutes, let's say, at 180 beats. So 2 times 9 is that's 1,800 steps times 5 ounces. I mean, you figure out how many pounds that is, and tell me if that doesn't impact. So it sure does. So anyway, that's the EVO SL compared to these. Like I said earlier, the Novablast 5, I love those. They kind of feel the same, actually. A little bit, not too much different than the Novablast, but I think they have more bounce. The Megablast has more bounce. Like I said, the Superblast 2, I'm kind of disappointed in those. I'm going to go through all my shoes and why I selected them and what I picked on a video coming up pretty soon, so you'll see that. But I'm at 5K right now. I got 5K to go. I'm going to run the 5K straight back without a stop. So, you know, I'll tell you how it is when I get back. Maybe I'll stop halfway and do a little video of the shoes themselves. So anyway, here we go. I'm 2 kilometers from home, 8K in. These shoes feel really great, really good. Yep, I put them up against the EVO SL, but in a different way. They're complementary. Let me put it that way. I'm glad I bought them. I still have my EVO SLs. I'm gonna keep buying my EVO SLs. I might buy the Novablast 6, but I don't know. These, I think my rotation will be Megablast, EVO SL, and let's see, what else do I got? Novablast 5 is what I have, and then I also have some Gel Nimbus 27, but I'm only going to use those if I really want to run slow and easy the whole time. I think that's what the Gel Nimbus is good for. If you're a heavy runner and you want to go slow, then get the Gel Nimbus. They're stable, they got a wide heel, they feel good. I've kind of adapted my stride. I used to be a heel striker, a big heel striker. I'm not a big heel striker anymore. I go midfoot. I still land on the outside of my heel, but not with full force. Hang on, there's a big red bus right here, making all kinds of noise. Red bus is gone. I got a little bit of quiet here now. So anyway, I used to be a heel striker, landing on my heel full force, coming forward, but then I realized that does nothing but brake. Puts the brakes on. So I do land a little bit on my heel still, but it's not full force and it's not a full weight. So the weight is under my center of gravity now when I've got all of it down there. So my full weight, I come down on my heel, I roll across, my full weight goes on my midfoot, and then I bounce off my front foot. I'm not a 4-foot runner, because that just tears up my calves. If you run on your toes, a little tip, if you run on your toes, and you don't have strong calves, you're gonna blow out your calves pretty quick. That's the one thing. Heels, heel striking hard, you're gonna mess up your knees and your shins. So, you know, try to land underfoot, a little bit of a bend in your knee, and come down midfoot and across. Yeah, so anyway, Megablast is a big hit so far. I'm loving them. I got about 2 kilometers to go to home, and I'm gonna kind of stretch it out now. So let's see how this goes. Okay, 10K down, and last 2K were way over race speed, probably 10K speed, or even a little bit slower than 10K speed, but pretty good. And verdict's in on these shoes. They're definitely a big check mark. They get a 5 out of 5, and here's why. I felt like I could bounce off, and you've all heard about ground time.
I'm sure, and try to minimize ground time. I have a very fast cadence. I've worked it up to between 180, 190. On races, I do 190, pretty much average, but so I got my cadence pretty well maxed out. So, but the way you get faster cadence is you got to have less ground time. Basically, it's real simple. You just spend less time with your foot on the ground. So these shoes make it feel like I can do that. I actually gravitate naturally to a more bouncier, less ground time kind of rhythm. So you know, that's a big, huge plus for these shoes, especially if you're a low cadence runner and you want to increase your cadence. Buy these shoes, and they'll help you bounce off the pavement faster and get less ground time, and be able to increase your cadence. I think stride also, they help with that. So I think these are definitely in the super trainer category. If you don't want to buy carbon race shoes, I would definitely go with the Novablast. They're really awesome. I don't know, I haven't run a long distance yet, but we're going to do that on Saturday with a 16-mile run. I'm going to wear these shoes and see how they do. And but the EVO SL, they've got their own use. I don't use them for longer runs, so it's going to be really interesting to see how the Novablast deals with a long, easygoing run and doesn't want to take me into a faster rhythm, which I think they like to do. So, you know, the EVO SL does that, but I use those for tempo and faster running intervals. The Novablast, I think I'm going to use mainly for easy tempo runs and short, easy tempo runs. I could use those for long runs too, but I think I'm just going to keep those for the tempo runs. Now, when it comes to carbon race shoes, are these comparable to that? I almost think they are. You know, I mean, they're pretty fast. They're pretty good. They got a lot of bounce. They're stiff. I don't know if they got some kind of plate or anything in them, but you know, you saw how I tried to bend them and I couldn't do it. So I don't know. Maybe some of you would like these for a race shoe. But when it comes to carbon race shoes, let me give you a quick rundown what I use. 5Ks, Metaspeed Sky Paris. That's what I use for my 5Ks. They got a real narrow heel on them, so you have to almost land midfoot on those. You can't land on your heel. You'll be all over the place. They don't have no stability on the heel. One step up from that, Nike Alpha Fly 3s I run in. Those I use for my 10K races. They also have a narrower heel, but not as narrow as the Metaspeed Sky. So I use those for the 10K. And they're bouncy. They've got that pod in them, you know, so they're good for that. For my half marathon and marathons, I use the Adidas Pro 4s. I love the Adidas Pro 4s. They got a wider heel. They're much more stable. You can land more heel to toe. And that's what I need when I run my marathons. I cannot land flat foot or forward. I'll tear my calves all to bits with those. So yeah, so that's a rundown of this Novablast. So far, 5 out of 5. I'll do a update on this in a couple of months after I got some real miles in them. I'm in the Chicago Marathon on October 11th, so I'm going to get quite a few miles from now till then, and a lot of them will be in these shoes. So we'll see how that goes. So I'll wrap this up inside, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, so I'm going to wrap up this video here. These are the Novablast, like we talked about. The surface is for road. It's got a high cushion. Heel drop is about 8 millimeter from the back to the front, 45 millimeters in the back. They weigh about, they say 8.1 ounces, but mine are 7 ounces. Support's neutral, so let's talk about the material a little bit. The material is engineered mesh on the upper. You can actually see through it. Lightweight, breathable mesh material. Helps reduce the need for any kind of additional overlay. It's got these serrated type of shoelaces. FF Superblast. You can see that FF Superblast right here. Yeah, and you got this really nice curve here. And when I was running, I could really feel a bounce coming off the heel. And then when you rolled into the front, you kind of got a bounce. So that was really good. I think I'm going to really enjoy these shoes, and I think they're one of the best ones. Like I said on the run, when I was running, I like them as much as the Novablast 5, probably better. We'll see how that goes down the road. I was not impressed with the Superblast. Superblast 2 are okay, but I liked actually the Novablast better. I think I'm going to like the Megablast better than the Superblast or the Novablast. They rival the EVO SL, so we'll see how they stack up on my 16-mile run on Saturday. And I'm going to wear these shoes, and we're going to see. Oh, they got a nice outsole too. So anyway, that's my video, and keep watching, and subscribe, and follow, and subscribe again. Did I tell you to subscribe? Anyway, see you later.